Good morning. It's June 4th, and this is your daily brief in science. Here's everything you need to know. Recent findings from a US-based experiment are stirring excitement in the scientific community as muons continue to display behavior that defies the established laws of physics. Announced on June 3, 2025, these results challenge the Standard Model, a foundational theory in particle physics. Conducted at the Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory near Chicago, the experiment involved racing muons, heavier cousins of electrons, around a magnetic track to analyze their unique wobbling motion. The latest results utilize more than double the data collected in 2023, reinforcing previous observations of muons' anomalous behavior. These findings have been submitted to the journal Physical Review Letters for further review. Experts in the field, including Marco Incagli from the National Institute for Nuclear Physics, highlight that this measurement will serve as a crucial benchmark for future studies addressing fundamental physics questions. Tova Holmes, an experimental physicist from the University of Tennessee, praised the experiment as a huge feat in precision, underscoring its significant contribution to advancing our understanding of particle physics. Researchers are currently analyzing the final muon data, with the hope of uncovering insights into dark matter and other unresolved cosmic mysteries. Future experiments, including one planned at the Japan Proton Accelerator Research Complex by the end of the decade, aim to further investigate muon behavior and may yield additional insights into dark matter. While earlier experiments in the 1960s and 1970s suggested muons behaved as expected, tests conducted at Brookhaven National Laboratory in the late 1990s and early 2000s indicated otherwise. Despite these challenges to the Standard Model, researchers are utilizing supercomputers to align muon behavior more closely with existing theories. This ongoing exploration of fundamental questions about the universe highlights the scientific community's persistent curiosity regarding its workings, making this muon research a crucial benchmark for future studies in particle physics. A new study sheds light on the intricate relationship between diet and mental health, revealing some concerning trends. Conducted using data from over 28,500 participants in the U.S. National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, the research focused on depressive symptoms and dietary patterns. Among the participants, nearly 8% reported experiencing depressive symptoms, with a notable portion classified as overweight or obese. The study categorized dietary patterns into 4 distinct groups: calorie-restrictive, nutrient-restrictive, established dietary patterns, and those not adhering to any diet. Of the participants, 2,206 were on calorie-restrictive diets, 859 followed nutrient-restrictive diets, and 631 adhered to tailored diets for specific health conditions. The findings indicated that nutrient-restrictive diets were associated with a 0.61-point increase in PHQ-9 scores, suggesting a potential negative impact on mental health. Professor Sumantra Ray emphasized the growing body of evidence linking diet to mental health, raising alarms about the nutrient deficiencies that can stem from restrictive eating patterns. However, it is important to note that the study is observational, meaning definitive causal conclusions cannot be drawn from these findings. The researchers also highlighted the complexity of real-world eating habits, pointing out the limitations of simply categorizing diets as healthy or unhealthy. Previous research has consistently shown the advantages of diets rich in minimally processed foods, while also cautioning against the risks associated with diets high in processed foods. A recent study published in JAMA Network Open has shed light on the significant impact of incarceration on mortality rates in the U.S. This research, which analyzed data from over 3.2 million adults between 2008 and 2019, stands out as one of the largest investigations of its kind. It uniquely assesses both individual and area-level incarceration effects on mortality, providing a comprehensive view over an 11-year period. The findings reveal a concerning correlation between both individual incarceration and high county-level incarceration rates, with increased all-cause mortality rates, including overdose deaths. Demographic analysis indicates that those who are incarcerated are generally younger, predominantly male, and often come from lower education and income backgrounds, frequently residing in high-poverty communities. Among incarcerated individuals, specific factors such as being male, younger, and having lower educational attainment were significantly linked to higher mortality risks. The study emphasizes the urgent need for enhanced healthcare access, particularly addiction treatment, for individuals before, during, and after their time in incarceration. Dr. Ucha Khatri, the study's lead author, highlights that incarceration represents a major public health issue, advocating for improved healthcare services in communities with high incarceration rates. The researchers utilized Cox proportional hazard models to estimate mortality risks, adjusting for various individual and county-level characteristics. The analysis linked responses from the American Community Survey to National Death Index records to assess causes of death among the studied population. Funded by the National Institute on Drug Abuse, the study maintains that the funders had no role in its design or execution. Overall, this landmark research underscores the critical need for healthcare interventions aimed at mitigating the health risks associated with incarceration and high incarceration areas. Colorectal cancer is a major health concern, ranking as the third most common and second deadliest cancer globally. Alarmingly, only 40% of cases are diagnosed before they metastasize, significantly affecting survival rates. In response to the rising incidence of colorectal cancer in individuals under 50, researchers are actively seeking early detection strategies. An international study published in Nature Medicine, coordinated by the University of Trento, has made a significant breakthrough by identifying a microbial signature linked to colorectal cancer. This research team has developed a novel method that integrates artificial intelligence with microbiome analysis to detect colorectal cancer using gut bacteria found in stool samples. The emphasis is on non-invasive screening techniques to enable early disease identification, although further clinical trials are required to establish the effectiveness of this metagenomic test. The findings from this study illustrate the promising potential of combining microbiome science with machine learning for clinical applications in cancer detection. Machine learning models demonstrated high accuracy in predicting colorectal cancer status based on stool metagenomics, indicating the microbiome's potential as a non-invasive screening tool. Researchers are now exploring the gut microbiome as a clinical target for colorectal cancer screening, which could potentially replace invasive colonoscopies with simple stool tests. The accuracy of the microbial signature approach for screening is reported to be close to 90%, correlating with the clinical stage of the disease. This microbial signature includes specific bacteria, such as Fusobacterium nucleatum, which are found in higher quantities in the intestines of colorectal cancer patients. The study also revealed that changes in the microbiome are stage-specific, with certain bacterial species correlating with later stages of colorectal cancer, indicating a continuum of microbial shifts throughout cancer progression. Despite these advancements, many questions remain regarding the microbiome's causal role in cancer and the underlying mechanisms involved. An international collaboration is set to reshape the landscape of clinical research on psychedelics for mental health treatment. Researchers from McGill University, Imperial College London, and the University of Exeter are leading a study aimed at enhancing the rigor and reliability of this emerging field. This initiative comes in response to the increasing public interest in psychedelic therapies, especially for treatment-resistant mental health conditions like PTSD, depression, and anxiety. The urgency for improved research standards is highlighted by the recent rejection of MDMA-assisted therapy for PTSD by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which was attributed to inconsistent trial results. To address these issues, the research team emphasizes the necessity for standardized protocols that enhance methodologies and ensure consistent outcomes in psychedelic research. Central to this effort are the newly developed Reporting of Setting in Psychedelic Clinical Trials, or RES-PCT guidelines. This 30-item checklist identifies key psychosocial factors that significantly influence psychedelic experiences. Co-lead author Chloe Pronovost-Morgan points out that elements such as mindset, therapy environment, and even music can drastically alter trial outcomes, challenging traditional methods that isolate drug effects. Co-senior author Leor Roseman underscores the importance of clear contextual guidelines to grasp the unique effects of psychedelics compared to other psychiatric medications. This collaborative effort is expected to significantly advance the understanding of the therapeutic benefits of psychedelics in clinical settings. To further this initiative, the research team plans to hold a workshop in October to discuss the integration of the RESPCT guidelines into research and clinical practice. The guidelines were developed through a Delphi consensus study involving 89 experts from 17 countries and were published in Nature Medicine. By emphasizing the importance of context in research, the RESPCT guidelines challenge traditional drug study methods, addressing historical shortcomings in how mindset and environment affect drug efficacy, which have led to regulatory challenges. This has been your daily brief in science. To read more about these stories, follow the links in the episode bio. You can also subscribe to these updates via email at www.brief.news. For more daily podcasts about the topics you love, visit brief.news/podcasts. Tune in tomorrow. We'll be back with everything you need to know.